Hello friends, today I will be discussing human resource management subject, fifth unit, compensation. First we start with the meaning of compensation. Compensation is a systematic approach to providing a monetary value to employees in exchange for work performed. Compensation may achieve several purposes, assisting in recruitment, job performance, and job satisfaction. It means compensation may be reflect as a direct cash payment or indirect cash payment given by the firms in return of exchange of the employees' contributions towards the organizational objectives. Means compensation may also act as a monetary reward which is given by the firms towards the employees in exchange of their efforts towards the productivity of the organization. So that process is called as a compensation. So compensation is also called as a total of all rewards provided to the employees in return for their services. So the overall purpose for providing compensation are to attract or retain or motivate the employees. So one more meaning we can called compensation as a all form of pay or reward going to employees and arising from their employment. So it is a meaning of compensation. A simple term, a simple meaning of compensation is it is a monetary or non-monetary benefit which is given by the firm in return of in exchange of the employees contributions towards the organizational productivity. So that is called as a compensation. Next, we'll discuss objectives of compensation planning. So, first objective of compensation planning is to bring equity among the employees. Means it is a main important objective of pay system, which may be showing a fairness among the compensations towards the target towards the employees. So, equity may be divided into three dimensions. One is internal equity, and second is external equity, and third one is individual equity. So what do you mean by internal equity means? And this ensures that more difficult jobs are paid more. Means it means here the jobs may be categorized into different entire jobs may categorize into different parts. So each and every jobs are having their own responsibilities and own risk level. So according to the jobs responsibilities, according to the job risk level, the firms they need to fix the pay. So then only it will call as a internal equity among the difficult jobs which are playing by the different employees. So next is external equity. So external equity ensures that jobs are fairly compensated in comparison to similar jobs in the labor market. Means here when the firms are designing the compensation, they are going to comparing the compensation with the other similar jobs in the labor market. Means here when they are going to fixing a pay for any job, they are going to examine the competitors pay for a same job. Based on the comparison of competitor pay for a same job, they are going to fix in the pay, so which can be bring the external equity towards the job. Third one is in equity. It ensures equal pay for equal work. Means each individual's pay is fair in comparisons to others doing the same or similar job. Means in addition there are other objectives as well. As the ultimate goal of compensation administration is to reward desired behavior or encourage the peoples to do well in their jobs. It means in individual equity, the firms are ensuring that all employees who are doing the same job, they're getting a same salary toward the particular job. There is no disparity among the employees regarding the same job which is performing by the different employees. So that is called as individual equity. So next, second objective of compensation planning is to attract talent. Means compensation need to be high enough to attract talented people. So since many firms competing to hire the service of competent employees or people, so the salary offered must be high enough to motivate them to apply the job. Means here many competitor, as when you are going to launching a product in a market, all competitor also involving to bring a innovativeness in the product to attract the customers. Same way here every firms are competing with each others to hire the talented qualified employee for their organization. So because of that, they are going to fixing the compensation in such a way which can help for them to attract the talented people for their organization. So this is one more objective behind of fixing the compensation towards the different jobs. Okay, so third one is third objective we can be see in the case of compensation planning is retain talent. Means if the compensation level fall below the expectation of employees or not competitive, then employees may quit in frustration, or employee may be planning to quit the organization. Means whatever the compensation is fixed by the firm, it may be not matching the employees expectation, or it may be below the employees expectation. The employees may not be want to be remain in the particular organization or in existing organization. They are going to be look over in the other organization where their expectations may be matched in terms of salary providing by the competing firms. So because of that, to avoid the employees turnover, a company need to be design the compensation in such a way which can help the firms to retain the talented employee in their organization for longer period of the time. Okay, so fourth objective of compensation planning is ensure equity. Means pay should equal to the worth of job. Worth of job means here, when we see a organization, there will plenty of jobs are available in the organization. Each and every jobs are categorized into different level based on the certain parameters or certain characteristics. The characteristics may be in terms of qualification, in terms of knowledge, in terms of skills, or in terms of ability. So these are different parameters they are going to look over when they are engaging to classifying the job. So according to the job experience, according to the job the qualifications which is required for doing a particular job, and the skills which is required for doing a particular job, based on that they need to fix the pay. Then only it will call as a worth of job for a particular employees who are going to be expecting a salary from the particular job. Means here, more qualified employees should get better wages as compared to the less qualified employees. So we can give example of two posts. One may be HR manager, one may be HR executive. If HR executives are getting more salary than HR manager, then it is not called as a worth of job, because HR executives experience is less as compared to the HR managers. If you take experience as a base, then you should be fixed the pay for HR manager which is more than the HR executive. Then only you can call as a worth of job for a worth of job for in terms of compensation for HR manager. So this way, for compensation planning should be ensure the equity towards the job. So the fifth objectives which we can see in the case of compensation packaging is new and desired behavior. Means pay should reward loyalty. Whatever the pay the firm is going to fixing, that should be reward the loyalty among the employees, and they should be motivate the employees to committed towards the particular job, and that should be motivate the employees to be take a risk, and the reward which the compensation which you are fixing, that should be encourage the employees to show their initiative, sorry, their creativity towards the work. So this way, compensation should be motivate the or encourage the employees to be utilize their skills in most effective manner. Next objective is control cost. The cost of hiring people should not to be too high. Means effective compensation management should ensure workers are neither overpaid or nor underpaid. Means whatever the pay you are fixing for a particular job, that should not be overpaid. Means it should not be more than the desired compensation for particular job, or that should not be underpaid. Means how much salary should be there for the particular job, that should not be below the expected level of the particular job. So this way, the firm, when the firm is fixing the pay, that should be also consider the cost which may be incurring for designing the pay for a different jobs. Okay, so next objective of compensation planning is follow the legal rules. Means compensation program should be also need to follow the all government rules regarding fixing the minimum wages, or providing a bonus, or providing allowances, or providing the benefits to the employees. So when the firm is engaging for fixing the pay, they also need to consider the government rules. Then they need to follow, they need to fix the pay for a different jobs. Next, eighth objective of compensation planning is easy of operation. Means here, the compensation system should be easy to understand and it's easy to be operate. Then only it will promote understanding regarding pay related matters between employees and union, or between union and managers, or between employees and manager. So these are certain objectives we can be seen in the case of compensation planning. Okay, so next is compensation pay structure in India. So first we'll discuss basic wages. So basic wages, it is used as a benchmark for the determination of various wages components. Like if the firm want to be fix the allowances, if the firm wants to be give a bonus, or if the firm want to give a premium, so these all are going to calculate it based on the basic pay or basic wages of the employees. Means here the amount of basic pay is also determined by two main parameters. One is they are looking a seniority, and they also looking a rank. So based on these two aspects, the firms are engaging to fixing a basic wage among the employees. Means basic pay is thus based on the two parameters, as I said you. There is employee's age or his year of services, and the individual skills that determines his internal promotions and his hierarchical status. So these are two parameters they are going to look covering when the firms are engaging to fixing the basic wages or basic pay for a employees. Next one is incentives. So incentives is something which is giving in additions to wages. Means incentives are extra benefits or extra wages which is offering by the employer towards the employees as a stimulates to greater actions. Means it incentives also act as a motivational tools which is motivating the employees to give their best for a organizations. Next is bonus. So the meaning of bonus is something to good. Means here when the firm is getting extra dividend, so the extra dividend or the profit they are going to distributing among the all shareholders. Means here irrespective of the performance level of the employees, each and every employees are getting a bonus from the organizations. So when the firm will give the bonus, when the firm will get the profit, that profit they are going to distributing as a bonus among the all various employees without considering the performance level. Okay, so fourth one is employees benefits. So employees benefits, it's also called as a fringe benefits, or it's also called as a perks which are given to the employees. It may also reflect as a non-monetary wages. Means benefits may be reflect in terms of non-monetary, which is given by the employers towards the employees additions to with their regular salary or with their regular wages. So benefits may reflect in many terms. The benefits may be transportation facilities, the benefits may be medical facilities, the benefits may be canteen facilities, the benefits may be providing a leave facilities to the employees, or the vacation facilities to the employees. So there are different kind of benefits offering by the firm towards the employees. Okay, so for fourth pay we can see in the particular organization. Next is provident fund. So provident fund, it is a fund into which the employer and employee both pay monthly money regularly, so that when the employee retires or when the employee leave the company, he or she receives sum of money. Means the interest earned out of this contribution is also credited to employees accounts itself. So the provident fund was originally set up to provide the monetary security to employee when they are retired. Means in provident fund both employer and employees contribution is there, and when the retirement period will be comes, when the employees are decided to leave the company, then they may be receive some of lump sum of money from the organization. Next is overtime. The main one by name itself, it is indicating overtime is the amount of time someone work behind normal working hours. Means here overtime pay represents the payment of extra hours worked by the employees. Means a worker is paid at the higher rate for extra work or extra hours worked as compared to the normal wages. Means here if 36 hours a week are prescribed as working hour, the company should pay extra wages to workman if they are required to work behind the 36 hours. Usually the rate of wages for period behind the 36 hours should be at the ordinary rate. Means while the rate should be double if workers are required to work more than 48 hours a week for the period behind the 48 hours. Means if the 36 hours is a standard working hours, if the employees are work more than the 36 hours, means if the employees are working 38 hours, means 2 hours extra worked by the employee, so the 2 hours extra salary is going to getting by the employee. So that extra salary is called as a overtime pay, which is going to be getting by the employees, getting by the employees. Next, seventh is allowances. So allowances, maybe it is a monetary payment which is made by the employer to his employees. Means it is a fixed or predetermined and given regularly in addition to the salaries. So with connection with the service of the employees which is rendered by them towards the organization. So allowances may be categorized into different types. The first one is dearness allowances. So dearness allowances, it is also the part of total compensation a person may receive for having performed his or her job. Okay, so workers in India might have basic salary or pension along with the allowances for housing and dearness allowances. Next is house rent allowances. So house rent allowances is given by the employer to the employee to meet the expenses in connection with rent of the accommodation which the employees might have to take. Okay, so convenience allowances means any allowances which is granted to meet the expenditure on convenience in performance of duties of an office, it termed as a convenience allowances. Next is leave travel allowances. So these allowances are provided to retain the best talent in the organization. Means here employees are given allowances to visit any places they wish with their families, and the allowances are sealed as per the position of employees in the organization. Okay, so next one is fixed medical allowances. It is paid regularly at a fixed rate irrespective of the actual expenditure on medical treatment. Next one is city compensatory allowances. So city compensatory allowances is it is paid to employees serving in big cities for the purpose of compensating them for increased cost of living of big cities. Okay, so next is Stipend allowances. Stipend allowances is allowances which is paid to an employee to providing a tiffin. Okay, so next is telephone or mobile allowances. So this is an allowances which is given to employees so that they can maintain a telephone or landline or cell phone to do a job related activities. Next is children education allowances. So any allowances which is granted to an employee to meet the cost of education of his children. Okay, and last one is hostel allowances. Means any allowances which is granted to an employee to meet the hostel expenditure incurred by him where his children are completing their study in a hostels.